What's going on, HPP fam? Welcome back to another episode. As you can see, there's a little more space in the shop, and that's because John is no longer with us. He's not no longer with us like he's dead. He's just no longer at the shop anymore. It is what it is. As we move forward, you might see a new face here sooner than later, but in the meantime, let's get back to work. Got HR Scat's car in this morning. We are putting on a new hood on this thing, and a new rear bumper. These were the last things that needed to be addressed after the car was wrecked. He's been driving the car around the way it is now, but we need to get this thing back to its former glory and get back out on the racetrack. We've got, I think I filmed a little bit of this, the diag on this truck, but this is a Whipple supercharged 2005 Chevy Silverado with a 5.3 liter. And we've got this thing tore apart due to it having a lifter failure. So we've got the new lifters for it. We did pull the entire motor apart. We're actually currently working on putting it back together. But pulled the camshaft out, inspected that. Everything looks good there. So got the motor retimed. About to put the front cover back on it. The heads are currently at the machine shop being repaired. Well, one head is being replaced with another good used head, and the other one's being repaired. Reason being, this thing was beating the valve seats out of it. So we're getting that tidied up, and once we get the parts back from the machine shop, we'll be able to get this thing back together. It's also going to get an Innovative West 10% overdrive dampener put on it when it goes back together, so a little bit more boost, and hopefully soon you'll see this thing on the dyno. In the meantime, let's get the parts on this Scat. Stepping back into the shop and get you guys a little progress update. Cut this fan off. As you can see, I am to the point where I have the new hood on Hector's car, and I'm getting ready to cut it out for the aero clip latches. So I've also cut the center of it out already for the intercooler pipe that runs through here. And got the front cover and the water pump back on this one. Still waiting on parts on the cylinder heads. And the Innovative West balancer that we got for this thing, like I said, it's supposed to be a 10% overdrive. That is an underdrive balancer. Unfortunately, fortunately caught it before the install, but there was a miscommunication during ordering. But fortunately, Innovate has them in stock, so it is on its way. So not a big holdup. We're still waiting on parts for the cylinder heads anyway, so we're not actually behind at all. I was just trying to get a little bit more forward progress made on this thing while we're waiting on the parts so we can get our cylinder heads back. But this thing is starting to come together, looking very nice. Super happy with the way the hood looks. The new hood, the 2021 body style hoods look very nice. So nice little facelift for this 2016. Now we've got it all traced out. We'll go ahead and lift the hood back up and pull these pins back out of there. And then it's time to get buck nasty with a hole saw on this brand new hood. Safety first. What'd I say? How about there? Of course. we have our latches recessed, and we went ahead and got all of our holes drilled. Now we can lift the hood up and address whatever we need to address underneath, so that way we can get the finishing pieces up under there and get them bolted down. So let's go ahead and lift this Johnny up and take a peek on what we got going on underneath. And just like that, the front end's all wrapped up. Woo, turned out flossy. Very happy with how all that turned out. So now, carried on to the back of the car, got it jacked up on jack stands, and I've got the stock bumper off of it. And we've got the new bumper over here, so I'm going to start transferring all the sensors over first thing tomorrow morning. And then go ahead and get the bumper reinstalled. Notice the S10's on the dyno. That's because our 3-valve Saline Mustang that was outside did not make it to the dyno. Several other things wrong with it, and then he had a bunch of parts he wanted installed before it was tuned. So a little communication error there. Told him to get the misfire issue resolved and bring it back. So we will possibly see that car again. Well, we have got Hector's Scat all wrapped up. As you can see, we got the hood situated, we got our Aero Equip hood latches on, we've got our side markers installed. Now come around back, we're still missing the lower valence. There's some parts that haven't shown up yet, but boom, I didn't film it, the new rear bumper is on. So we're just missing that lower valence piece right there, but that's it. Moving right along with this week, I didn't pick up the camera yesterday afternoon, but I went ahead and got Silverado all wrapped up. It's 100% back together. All we are lacking is a belt. Sometimes everybody knows this with blower cars. When you do an underdrive pulley or you change pulley sizes, sometimes it is a pain to get a belt. You know, we did the Innovatives West 10% overdriven dampener on the bottom, so we've done some measuring, we know what belt we need. Now we're just waiting on the parts store to get us our belt. In the meantime, we've started our next project. And I don't know if you guys remember this car. This is the Built Motor LT Pro Charge car with meth that we did, I think 2 years ago. Looks like he's got an oil leak somewhere up front. And then he also has a header gasket that has blown out. So we're gonna go ahead and address the header gasket first, and then we're gonna get that thing on a lift after the header gasket and clean everything up really good, take it for a test drive and see if we can find out what exactly the leak is so we can get it fixed right the first time. Let's get after it. And just like that, got both side header gaskets replaced on this 14. Let it warm up, and we'll go ahead and put all the covers back on. We're going to clean the front end up. Customer thinks the front main fluid's leaking, but looks like he didn't drain his catch can and it's been puking all over the place. So I'm going to get everything all cleaned up, and then we'll take this thing out for a test drive and go from there and see what else we need to do to this thing to get it on back to the customer. Your boy picked up the camera again late. Anyways, next Victim on the dyno is LJ's 2005 Ram 1500 that we have swapped a built 6.1 that has been stroked to a 6.4 liter with a Magnuson supercharger. Intake's popped up right now because I am about to get at that power steering pump. That is bad. But I have already changed the rack. So as you can see, there's the old rack. And can't really see. I'll pop it up when I'm done and bleeding it and show you guys the new rack. But pump's bad, and then he wanted to go ahead and do the rack while we're doing it, and then we're gonna go ahead and blow out the cooler line as well, make sure there's no trash and no debris in here, and get this, you know, bad 05 Ram back out on the streets. So we got it fired up. We got our new pump installed. Right now we're just switching blades. That'll wrap up LJ's truck. Come get this bad mamma jamma and take her home. Got the old Silverado up on the dyno. Burning like a kitten. Go ahead and get some heat in the motor, and we'll go ahead and strap this Johnny down. Get in the computer, see what we got going on. Well, unfortunately, that's where we're stopping on the Silverado. Customer spoke with the customer about some concerns like belt slip, running out of fuel system, too much boost for a stock bottom end, and so on and so forth. So that last tug that you've seen, it's the last tug for the truck. It has already gone home with the customer. Just to give you an idea of the kind of power it was making, that last run there, you see we hit the speed limiter at 105 mile an hour. The dry shaft is aftermarket, but I didn't know that until the vehicle got picked up. But either way, there was no sense in pushing it. We were already on the edge of that motor anyways. But 350 horsepower, which that was only at 4,300 RPM, so we still had quite a ways to go, and 430 foot-pounds of torque, so it was making some steam. But we may see that truck again, and we may pull that Whipple off and go turbo. You know how we like our turbos around here. Took a little time this afternoon, cleaned up the shop. Ooh. Still got some more cleaning to do. The gremlin is all done. Everything is wired. I have to go into the ECU for one thing. But other than that, the gremlin is going to get cleaned up nice and neat and put in the trailer for the new owner, which he should be here next week or two, so that'll be cool. Pass the torch of the world's fastest manual first generation Neon, going to a new home. We got the S10 on the lift. You can see got some weight stuff going on back here. We're gonna pin some weight down in the back end of the bed of this thing and try to get some more traction for a no prep event that we'll be doing soon, so that'll be exciting. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed the content. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.